Jason Rzucidlo reporting inside the Laurel Manor in Livonia for the Michigan Film Industry Town Hall meeting. Governor Snyder has decided to cut the film incentives down to a cap of $25 million. And that would necessarily eliminate all filming within this state. Find out what people have to say right here from the Laurel Manor in Livonia. And could you give me your position on the film tax incentive?
My position on the Michigan film tax incentives is a positive one. Since 2001, myself and our organization, Michigan Production Alliance, has been working to promote the state of Michigan as a location for corporate and feature film productions.
Now, is it true that some of them have already packed up and left?
This is what I've been hearing. I don't have independent confirmation of this, other than a production coordinator in Grand Rapids told me that a show that she was supposed to be on last Tuesday just held back. But I do know that there are less people on the list coming from Michigan, the list that we see in the national trade magazines.
I understand the cap that Snyder wants is $25 million. What could be done with the $25 million?
$25 million doesn't do a lot. First of all, a cap in general is bad because you don't know where you are in the queue and who's going to get the last of that money, so it immediately kills any kind of incentives. You can't do a bill like that. There are other ways of making that happen fiscally responsibly.
You think this could be another case similar to the Pure Michigan ads? You know, first they were canned and then they were put back on the books. Do you think that could happen with the films?
Well, that would be a wonderful idea. I like that idea. Pure Michigan is something that also employs Michigan crew people, and if they felt that it was promoting Michigan, certainly filmmaking does.
What do you expect to get out of this town hall meeting today at the Laurel Manor?
The idea here is to give people as much information as possible and arm them with enough information so they can go out and do what they need to do. Contact their legislators, help us out in other ways. As a matter of fact, the Michigan Production Alliance and the production complex in Rochester Hills are planning a rally in Lansing on the 22nd of March. And again, we're going to show our numbers and just say, look, we have a stake in this. We want it to happen. We live in Michigan and we want to work in Michigan.
Any other remarks here today?
I just hope that anyone watching this understands that the money doesn't go to Hollywood fat cats. The money goes to the vendors that are on each film, 60 or 70 vendors on each film. The people behind the scenes are able to make a living, pay their rent, pay their mortgage, pay the dry cleaner, the grocer. So it's all good. Everyone benefits from this.
Very good.
My position on the film incentives is that I'm vehemently in favor of them for a lot of reasons that we're going to discuss tonight with the general public, the film community, and eventually and hopefully to a lot of the elected officials in the legislature to do their due diligence and hear and see the big picture of what's going on.
We're here at the Laurel Manor for the town hall meeting. What do you expect to get out of this?
Well, we expect to convey the message properly and give people some hope and some optimism, some information and accuracy for press, public, legislative officials of what all the benefits that are going on from this bill that have brought a lot of positivity to the state that really wasn't here in much of a quantity before April of 2008. That's a simple fact.
Is there any chance that it might stay on the bill, just like the Pure Michigan ads? Remember how they were first canned and then put back?
It's a different appropriation. Pure Michigan was a certain allocation for that campaign. This is a whole different legislative situation.
All right, any other remarks? I know you're busy today.
If anyone's in favor of this program and knows people that have benefited from it, or you think it's a positive thing for the state, the cash out, the eventual refundable credit is such a minute drop in the bucket compared to a $45 billion budget. But it'll all come to a close if the budget proposal goes in as he proposed. That's basically it. So contact your state representative and senator if you think it's a good thing and don't want it to stop. Pure and simple. They work for the people.
Go ahead, tell me your position on the film tax incentive.
I am in favor of the film tax incentive. I'm also a member of the Film Commission for the state of Michigan as well. I should point that out.
Right. And what do you think of it possibly being lowered to a cap of $25 million?
I think at that point, at that level, that all of what we've worked for so hard, literally it's almost been 10 years, since we've had a lot of bipartisan support on the commission and also through the legislature and with the state government. I think a lot of people have worked very hard to achieve the legislation that we had in place. In addition to that, I think a lot of people have worked very hard in the film industry throughout the state of Michigan to make this a success, and it's just a budding industry at this point and needs an opportunity to grow. And the $25 million proposed funding by the governor is at such a level that I think that it would absolutely crush the industry, just as basically as the sprouts are coming out of the ground. So I think that I'm really hoping that the governor and the legislature look carefully at this before they throw the baby out with the bathwater.
How have you benefited as a movie theater from the films being shot here?
Well, we've had a number of very, very successful films, and I guess I'll talk about the one that most people know the most about, which is Gran Torino. We run the theater in Laurel Park Place Shopping Center. And if you look back at that year, which was 2009, that was the #1 grossing film in our theater complex for the year. And I don't know that you would find that in too many other places in the United States, except the publicity that went with that picture, as an example, really helped ignite a lot of activity. I know a lot of people who've had premieres, they've had a lot of celebrities, all of these things help our industry. It's not just film production, it's also what happens to the films later, and when we show them, more people are in the seats. I mean, if we have a film that's made here in Michigan, like Transformers, the customers will sit in their seats till the last minute to see who drove the catering truck here in Michigan, and all of those things are important to consider when looking at the economic impact of what we've been able to accomplish in all these years with the film incentive programs.
What do you hope to get out of this town hall meeting at the Laurel Manor here?
Well, I hope that this is looked upon as an educational experience for the people involved, and also I hope it helps educate the legislators, the governor, the public, that there's a lot of enthusiasm clearly statewide for this incentive, and also that I think they really need to really grasp the scope of this and how it affects a lot of people in a very positive way. And I think given the opportunity, again, I'd like to look upon this as an educational experience and keep the bipartisan spirit we've had with the Film Commission as well as with the program since its inception.